Hey guys, it's Matt Giordano, and I'm back this week with the Giordano update. And before I get into the Kawhi Leonard and Demar Derozan trade, I just want to ask if anybody watched the British Open this weekend. I mean, how nice did it feel to see Tiger Woods wearing a red shirt walking down the fairway with a lead on Sunday? It really was awesome. This week was supposed to be about the NFL, but while I was gone, the DeMar DeRozan and Kawhi Leonard trade happened, so I'm going to push that episode back. The Raptors sent DeMar DeRozan and Jacob Polito and a first round pick to San Antonio for Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green, and the real headliner is obviously DeRozan for Leonard. Right after the trade, both players were not happy that they were traded. There was a report that was still considering sitting out this year if he was in Toronto at the start of the season. But as the week went on a little bit, the reports suggest that Kawhi is starting to warm up to the idea of playing in Toronto. And on the other side, DeMar DeRozan, if you look at Toronto's history, is the one star that actually wanted to be there. He signed a contract extension there, and the Raptors president a week ago promised DeMar that he would not be traded. And now this week's a Spurs, so DeMar was not happy about being lied to and the trade in general. The Spurs made a serious mistake waiting too long to move on from Kawhi. Before free agency started, they had the Lakers thinking about sending a Godfather offer, which probably could have consisted of Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, and maybe some picks, but they waited too long. Philadelphia and Boston were also involved in trade talks with the Spurs. Philadelphia had the same kind of intentions as Los Angeles, and where they thought if they could trade for Kawhi that LeBron would commit to them. But once LeBron committed to Los Angeles without any other stars coming, the market cooled for Kawhi. It got quiet because the Lakers felt that they could get him next summer and didn't want to gut their young core after LeBron had already committed. So essentially, what would have been a three-team bidding war between the Lakers, Sixers, and the Celtics for Kawhi turned into just Toronto being the only team still really trying to go out and get Kawhi. But now with LeBron in the West and playing for the Lakers, does Kawhi make Toronto favorites to come out of the East? No. While I do think Kawhi is now probably the best player in the East, I still feel like Boston is the favorite and Philly is second behind them. But that still doesn't mean Toronto can't come out of the East. The team had 59 wins a year ago and replaced DeRozan with Kawhi. And even though DeRozan's a shooting guard and Kawhi's a forward, they essentially do play the same position on the wing, and Kawhi's a better version of DeMar DeRozan. He's a lot better defensively as well, which will help Toronto make strides in the East. If you're looking at the finals from last year, in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semis against Cleveland, Toronto was down 0-2, and in Game 3, he shot 3 of 12 with only 8 points, and Toronto lost 103 to 105. And I feel like swapping out DeRozan for Kawhi is a huge plus for Toronto. And Toronto for a while has also been thinking about tearing apart what they've had, starting with breaking up their front court of DeMar DeRozan and point guard Kyle Lowry. This move for Kawhi could also signal the start of the rebuild. If Kawhi doesn't seem to be working out, they could try to trade him before the February deadline and try to recoup some assets. And even if they don't trade him, the most likely scenario is that he's going to leave via free agency next summer, either for the Lakers or the Clippers, who will both have space to sign him next summer. Fox Sports analyst Chris Broussard has even gone as far to say that if Toronto wins the title this year, Kawhi is still going to be headed to LA next summer, whether that's the Lakers or the Clippers. So it might make sense for the Raptors to try to trade Kawhi again and recoup some assets and start building for the future. If things in Toronto begin to look iffy by the trading deadline, a bidding war between Magic Johnson, LeBron James, and the Lakers, and Jerry West, the logo, and the Clippers could break out. Both teams believe they have Kawhi locked down for next summer, so making a move for him in February could stop the other LA team from being players next summer for Kawhi. Thank you guys for listening. This has been the Giordano Update, and I'll see you guys next week.